Barcelona's season has begun under pressure, and today there's a development that could alter the mood inside the club. Alejandro Balde has returned to full group training after a muscle problem sidelined him for 3 weeks. The left-back's absence came at a time when Barcelona's depth was already being tested. A shock summer exit for Inigo Martinez and a recent knock to teenage defender Pau Cubarsí left the backline thinner than anyone wanted. So Balde's presence on the grass again is more than a fitness update. It's a potential tactical pivot for Hansi Flick. Medical staff treated the injury with caution because it involved the femoral biceps in his left leg, an area that demands careful management after past muscular issues, and that's why the club set an initial recovery window of roughly 3 to 4 weeks. Today's training participation is a very encouraging sign in that context, but it doesn't mean he's cleared to play immediately. Sources inside the squad say the plan remains conservative, which explains why Balde is not expected to be available for the upcoming fixtures against Real Oviedo and very likely won't feature against Real Sociedad either. The eye at Barca now points to October 1, the date of the second Champions League group match against Paris Saint-Germain, as the earliest realistic return if his progress stays steady, a scenario that would transform not just the left flank but the whole defensive setup against elite opposition. For Flick, who has had to reshuffle roles and minutes while juggling match load and recovery, the prospect of getting Balde back ahead of a blockbuster European tie offers tactical flexibility. His overlapping runs and recovery speed provide both attacking width and a safety valve for central defenders who have been under strain. But there's a cautionary note to the optimism. Muscle problems in players with histories of tightness or prior knocks are treated differently. The club's medical team will monitor load, sprint counts and response to contact in training before any matchday inclusion is considered. Meanwhile, Pau Cubarsí, who was forced off with a knee knock against Newcastle, has been ramping up his work carefully and has now rejoined full training. He looks set to be an option for the trip to Edo, which eases some of the immediate personnel headaches even if it doesn't replace Balde's specific profile on the left side. Off the field, the end-of-window transfer of Martinez to Saudi clubs reduced centre-back cover and made every recovery more consequential. When a starter returns quickly, it doesn't simply restore one slot, it changes how the entire defensive unit rotates and how Flick plans his substitutions into competitions running at once. From a fan's perspective, the timeline is a countdown. Every training session, every cleared contact drill is being watched for signs that October 1 is realistic rather than aspirational. And for opponents like PSG, it presents a strategic question. Will Barcelona present the same left-sided threat when the teams meet, or will Flick keep his hand tight and let the season calendar dictate risk? Either way, Balde's reappearance in team drills is the first positive line in a short medical report that's been heavy on bad news so far, and it forces a recalculation of what Barcelona's backline can look like over the next 4 weeks. The next checkpoints will be public and private. Further training updates, fitness evaluations, and ultimately the squad list before a Champions League match that carries both points and pride. If the recovery continues as hoped, Balde's presence could be the single boost that steadies a defence which has so far been forced into improvisation. If progress stalls, the club will double down on protecting him and rely on the returning Cubarsí and tactical adjustments from Flick to hold the line. Either outcome matters, not just for the results on the pitch, but for how Barcelona manage player health, squad rotation, and the high expectations that come with competing on domestic and European fronts. For now, supporters should temper celebration with patience. The picture has brightened, the timetable is clearer, and October 1 looms as the first meaningful answer to whether Balde's comeback will arrive in time for Barcelona's biggest early test.